Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
Where are you? Oh, there you are.
5-second pregnant pause. How come Bernie can get it right and you can never get it right? Bernie always gets it right.
All you have to do is hit the button. Welcome to RVing in New England. What a great show we got tonight. Great guests, too.
We have great guests, and without our sponsor, we have no guests at all. And, Bob, why don't you put up that slide that says who our sponsor is? I have it memorized. It is Seacoast RV. It is on Route 1 in Saco, Maine. They have crop models. They have elevation models, park model units, and they also have Winnebago towables as well as the Travato and a couple other Winnebago. I think they have the View as well.
They do.
So, Seacoast RV, family fun on Route 1, right near Old Orchard Beach. So special thanks to Kenny, Amanda, and all the crew.
Yep. And have you noticed all of our countdown to National Go RVing Day this week?
I certainly have. National Go RVing Day is coming up. Tell us what that means.
Well, they did this. This is the third year Go RVing has done it. It's to create awareness of RVing and actually camping. Just getting out to the campground, getting out to your dealer, getting out and enjoying the RV. So they have a program, and we jumped on it to promote our dealers leading up to it. So it almost gives you the impression that Saturday there's an open house at all the dealers, but that's not the intent. The intent was to show something special at the dealers. We didn't want them to go to any extra expense, but if you go to a NERVDA dealer, you will have some kind of a special there, whether it be a manager special on a unit, something in the parts and accessory store. So check us out. If you haven't gone down below, check those out.
That's really good that we've done that, but we missed National Cheeseburger Day a couple weeks ago. And just 2 days ago was National Cheese Day.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do National Go RVing Day, we've got to do National Pizza Day. We've got to do National Ice Cream Soda Day, National Milkshake Day, National Italian Food Day.
John, we don't have to do anything we don't want to do. This is our show, and we decide what we're going to celebrate.
Right, but I think we should be celebrating National Cheeseburger Day and National Cheese Day.
Then you prepare the itinerary, you prepare the graphics, and I'll post them up. But today,
I'll check it out. Because
today we are celebrating National Master Certified Technician Level 4 Day. Did you know that was today? What today was?
I heard about that. I heard about that earlier today. But before we bring on our guests, why don't we say who's watching us so far from all over the country? We have Jim Conboy somewhere in Massachusetts. Sandy, we don't know where you are because you are a moving target. Sandy Ellingson, Karen Dougherty, I believe, is calling from. She may be
in Washington, because this is RV's Move America Week in Washington, a very important week in Washington. All of the executives and industry leaders are down there talking to, having meetings with various caucus groups and meeting with their senators and representatives to let them understand, and they present them the economic impact that the RV industry overall has on the government, which is about 2.2% of the gross domestic product. So, and the first member of Chris Dougherty's fan club is on. Hello, Karen. Glad you could join us. And what does that mean, Sandy? Is that out?
She wants us to click on it.
Huh? No, I can't click on it. I can't click on it. I'm in the middle of a show. Maybe it's for this show.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm glad Walter. See, I have. Look.
What?
Look, I have. Can you see?
Yeah.
The word Walter.
I can see something, yeah. Yeah, I can see Walter on the bottom. Yeah.
Walter. Special thanks to Walter, because Walter, today is the first day that I'm using the new here, I'll show you.
The Jabra.
Yeah, the Boyata thing. The
conference call thing.
No, not that. The thing that allows it to go up and down and hold it right at the right level so I don't have to.
Oh, you're talking about the stand.
Yeah, the stand.
Yeah.
That Walter gave us back in where were we? Back in March, and Walter saw us moving.
Yeah.
So anyway, Walter, special thanks.
Andy says, sorry, I was posting the link to your show for some friends and posted it in the wrong place. Okay, you're forgiven. Dante's there up in Maine.
Oh, Walter has it. It's National Tsugami. It's named after you.
It is National Moonshine Day.
And you got your moonshine.
Well, but this isn't moonshine. This is Tennessee sipping whiskey.
And I have my moo time because I have a glass of milk. I have moon time.
We got a good friend on, David Solberg. David does a lot of seminars. Used to be with, I think he was with Affinity. He used to do them all for Good Sam. David, glad to have you on the show. And Chris, you know David.
Hey, Bob, we're 8 minutes into the show. We haven't brought Chris on yet.
Yeah. All right, the hell with this stuff. Let's go to Chris. Chris Dougherty, Master Certified Technician Level 4. Do you know, Mr. Dougherty, you are the first Level 4 under the new program at RVTI nationwide?
No.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Well, let me
Sharon did not tell me that.
Well, let me validate that.
Well, we just made it up, Bob.
All right,
Chris.
let me validate it.
Congratulations, Chris, on achieving the highest level, Level 4, Master Tech of the RV Technical Institute Technician Career Path. I know with your decades of experience now combined with the certification of the RV Technical Institute, built and designed by the industry itself, you are now going to go out there and help us to achieve our mission of training, certifying, recruiting new folks, new technicians into the very enjoyable, sustainable career path as an RV technician, whether it be at a dealer or as a mobile tech. Knowing you over the years personally, it only makes me personally even more excited to know that you are now one of the very first to have completed the entire career path. After 4 years of production, it's finally fully up and running. Folks can join and actually complete a master's degree as quickly as 2 years, based on their own pace, which the program can be done at your own pace or online or in person, or now as yourself as a master tech, obviously continuing your career and your training, which I know you are so passionate about, much like myself and the team, to bring new folks into this industry that we have had the luxury of being a part of. So once again, just wanted to say thank you and congratulations, and look forward to continuing to work with you as we spread the mission of the RV Technical Institute.
And thank you so much. Special thanks to Kurt Hemmler. That's all the time we have tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back again next week.
President of RVTI, Senior VP at RVIA. And I want a special thanks to Kurt. He's down in Washington at all these meetings, and he was running in an Uber to get back to his hotel to get ready for dinner. And he went back to the hotel, sat in the chair, made the video, and shot it off to me. So there is nothing people in this industry won't do when it's an important mission. So, Chris, what can you tell us what it means to you?
It's been a long time coming, to be honest with you. I've been, certified for a long time. And back under the old RVIA, RVDA program, if you wanted to get master certified, you had to pay to take a test, which I did, and missed it by 2 points. And but at the time I was working for myself, and I didn't, pay to do it again. I was doing the research through, points and that type of thing. And when RVTI came along, they moved the certification program over there. Of course, I was grandfathered in as a certified tech, but as Kurt mentioned, they didn't have a path set up yet to get to master. So this is a relatively new thing, even though it's been on paper for a while. In practice, they needed to get a lot of other partners on board to do this. So a lot of the suppliers for the industry have stepped up and helped to develop this program with a level 3 training. And one of the rules of it is that any training that you've had that's older than 5 years doesn't count anymore. So over the last year or so, I've been spending a lot of time training. I've gone around the country to a couple of different in-person things, and then spent a lot of time just trying to get all this other stuff done so that I could, finally get the master. So, which has been a goal of mine for a long time. So I'm glad that I finally got there.
Yeah.
Well,
so, Chris,
any questions?
Chris,
John? Yeah.
What was the testing like? I mean, was it all on laptop, or was it hands-on? Did you have to turn some wrenches, or just know how to turn wrenches?
So it's a combination. So the in-person stuff that I did was a matter of actually hands-on. So I did a hands-on program with Victron in Denver. And another thing that I'd wanted to do was to get my generator certification through Cummins Own-In, which I did. And that was the final piece of that was in Kansas City. And so I went out there last year, just before the Hershey show, the week before, actually. And so that was a nice hands-on program with hands-on testing as well as written testing.
Cool.
A lot of the programs are online, so you can certainly go. Lippert has been diving in and doing a ton of stuff, and they have just a fantastic program, but a lot of other companies have been stepping up to do the same thing,
Cool.
which is good. And so all of the training for level 3 has to be followed up with some kind of a test.
Kurt was very serious in that, Bob. Would you agree that Kurt was very serious in his comments to Chris, much more serious than what he was when we saw him just last month at the Chubby Trout at 11 o'clock at night, when there were a whole bunch of beers in front of us with the RVTI people.
I've got some that aren't so serious.
Okay, a couple of nice things about Chris Dougherty. Well, number one, he does have probably one of the best mustaches in the entire industry. He's also been a huge resource and mentor to so many people in the industry for many decades. He is probably the reason why I'm here, because if I was ever given the opportunity, if a manufacturer was ever crazy enough to choose me to lead their team in a positive way, well, I got that chance. And I'm taking everything that he has shared with me, trying to apply it and do things the right way. So I hope that in this new role, Chris, just like you've made your mentor, Gary Bunzer, very proud, I'm sure, I hope I can make you proud as well by doing things the way that manufacturers should be doing them. Just want to tell you, I love you, I'm proud of you, I appreciate you for everything that you've done for me, and I'm sure I'll be getting a hold of you very, very soon.
There we go. So, Gumby, where are these people coming from? Were they watching our show and they just decided to?
I have this magic wand, John, and I wave it, and people just appear. But that was Willie Miller, who's now the GM for Columbus and River Ranch Products with Forest River, and he's going to do a bang up job. But he was probably
He's a good guy.
He was probably reading my mind. And Chris, I know this is a sad point for all of us, because Gary was a mentor to many of us. I know he meant an awful lot to you. Gary, unfortunately, passed away in April of 2020 and from COVID. But Chris, why don't you tell us how much you love him and what he did for you in your career?
Well, one of the first people I met, in the industry on a more national level was Gary, and I got to know him through the Pennsylvania program at the time, and through the Hershey RV show, and we struck up a not only a professional relationship, but a great friendship at the time that lasted, for quite a while. And, when you have, I've had a lot of people who've been mentors in my life and my careers and personally and things like that. A lot of wonderful people. And so when you run into somebody like that, I think that's one of the best things you can do is be a mentor to somebody, you know, and to give somebody a chance. And that's what he did. And so not only did I learn the craft from him, a lot of it and whatnot, but also I hope how to be a better person, better teacher. And it's tough that you know, Gary's not with us anymore. It's just that yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, he did. I think he meant a lot to all of us and to a lot of RVers out there, and just a stand-up, awesome human being. So
you mentioned Pennsylvania, so let me wave my magic wand.
Hi Chris, Heather from PRVCA here. Congratulations on your level 4 certification. What a great accomplishment, and we look forward to putting that to use here at our future PRVCA education events. Congratulations.
Chris, this is like This Is Your Life.
I know it, right? That's what the heck's going on here.
Well, tell us, because part of what you do is some significant training at the what we like to call the Hershey Show, but the PRVCA show. Tell us what you do and why that's important for consumers and technicians alike.
So every year, as you know, the Hershey show has a large educational element to it. And what's key about PRVCA is that the association's mission is education. And so the resources from the Hershey show and whatnot all go right back into training for the industry, which is fantastic, and consumers. And so it's a big piece of what we do. And so Mike Sokol, as you know, is also involved in that. We do training, as well as a number of vendors do training for technicians the first 2 days of the week. And then when it opens up for the consumers, then we're doing seminars all week long on various topics, which we change up, you know, each year and do some different things. And it's all, again, just as a way of helping to support the industry and people getting into it and being better RVers. And so that's something that we really like to spend time on.
Mike Sokol?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say Mike
Sokol?
Hey, Chris, Mike Sokol here. Hey, congratulations on getting your level 4 master training certification. This is fabulous stuff. I think as the RV industry gets more and more complicated, training will become more and more important for technicians. You are the man. Keep up the good work.
Hey, Chris.
You've been busy today, haven't you, Mr. Zagami?
Oh, no, Chris, I napped all afternoon.
Yeah.
Chris, this is all AI. Those are not real people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's talk about AI a little bit.
Go ahead, Bob. You know, I can't imagine there's people on here that may not know who you are, but give us your background, these multi-decades, because it's varied, but it also goes into the importance of the things that you've been able to do because of your background, and now what you can give back to the industry.
Well, first of all, I was knee high to a duck when I started RVing. So my family got their first RV in 1973 at Winnebago Chieftain, and I grew up on a horse farm. You know, so very hands-on with a lot of equipment, and we spent a lot of time in that traveling to shows and so forth. And so it was something, you know, right from when I was a wee little guy that I always just found fascinating. I always enjoyed it. And I went into the fire service when I left college. And well, before that, actually, when I was in high school, as soon as I turned 18, my mother had passed in a fire, and it was something that I wanted to do. My brothers were both involved in fire and EMS, and at the time in law enforcement. And so it was something that I wanted to do. So one thing led to another, and that led into a career in the fire service, but also I had that real enjoyment of RVing. So the first RV I bought was with one of the brothers from the Yonkers Fire Department. We bought a Coleman pop-up and rebuilt it, and totally restored it to original, and I got my start doing it there. And one thing led to another. I had different RVs. I was a full-time RVer for 10 years, and it was in that process when I was up at Interlake RV Park and sales in Rhinebeck that I got the opportunity to start working, part-time, but started working for the campground and working for the dealership and doing service. And so back in the 90s, that's where I got my start in the industry. And it's just gone on, from there. I branched out. I had my own business. I worked for them. Then I had my own business. And I went to, then when I retired from the fire service, I came up here, ran the business up here. I worked with our friend Tim, who's on there. And I see Tim's got a couple of comments on there. And I still RV to this day, but it's been a good process. I worked for Diamond RV and Longview RV. I've worked for them and worked for RVIA, RVTI. I worked for a time as a fill-in instructor out there. So I've been kind of around it. And then on top of that, doing the consumer stuff. So working for Trail Life and Motorhome Magazine, family RVing or family motor coaching, which I still do to this day, and plus some online stuff.
It's already been noted by 2 people at least, if not more. Knee high to a duck.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? And are you drinking Jack Daniels like Zagami?
No, I'm not. No. Nope. I have my Coke in my Ford glass.
Okay.
So you're drinking.
I decided not to do the Jack tonight. I thought about it, but
so you're drinking Coke. DePietro's drinking milk. Somebody has to support Jack Daniels. I mean,
well, absolutely. If
you guys,
it would be better if it was Maker's Mark. That's all I can say.
Well, so Jeff Johnson is on there. He says, "Greetings, Chris.
Yes.
Nice to have you, Jeff."
Good friend, Jeff. Yeah.
He says, "Hello, Chris." Frank Plodge. Hello, all. David's got a little bit of humor. He says, "Should you choose to accept this mission, this tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck." He doesn't want to admit that he was here. It's going to self-destruct it. Sandy says, "Hey, Chris."
Hi, Sandy.
James Conboy, New England RV Rube, who is back from, I think,
from Italy.
3-week cruise and touring of Italy and Venice and Tuscany. And I was talking to him last night. Now, he broke the record. I don't know if you watched his Facebook page, but he wanted to post some pictures from Italy. Now, most people put 10 or 20. If they really get carried away, they have 50. I think Jim broke the internet. He posted 240, and by the time I got to 6, it crashed. So I don't know what the hell you did, Convoy, but 240 pictures from Italy.
Wow.
Walter Swenson, congratulations. Maria, and the man up in beautiful downtown Irving, Mass, recently picked up all of her trailers and has
the man, the myth, the legend.
He is it.
Tim RV.
Tim's RV. Any questions for the man, Mr. DePietro?
No, but I think it's worth saying that in addition to Chris's knowledge of how to fix stuff, he's just an overall nice guy.
That I would agree. Yeah.
And I think that based upon the audience that we've got here that are wishing him well, I think others would agree the same thing, because you know what? You can be prominent in your field and still be a jerk, but you're not. And I'm appreciative of that fact. He also spent time in several months in jail for the last 3 months. Chris, you want to talk about that?
Before you do that, Chris, Frank's got a question for you. When we were done,
13 to 16. I was the service manager from 15 to 16.
Okay.
And I left there to go to Good Sam to do motorhome and trailer life.
Right. And Jeff has his making.
All right, Jeff.
All right.
Next time we see you, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
we'll open one.
All right, so Karen says, I do. You know, when we get these questions like that, Karen, because this is such a fast-moving show with such a variety of information, when we get one popped up like that, I do. Chris, do you have any idea what you're talking about?
I'm trying to think. I don't.
All right, we're gonna need more of an explanation, Karen. All right, talk about your jail time.
Yeah. I spent a couple of years, 3 years, in the Worcester County Jail.
Okay, that's about all the time we have.
Thanks to Bob and John.
Everybody, we're out of time.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, there's
Good
the
behavior.
soundbite. There's the soundbite. No, thanks to Bob and, well, specifically John, actually, because John is friends with the Worcester County Sheriff. And so we did a pilot RVTI Level 1 program up there. We were one of 3 facilities in the country that were working with inmates and training them to RVTI Level 1. And it was a good program. It worked out really well. We had it here in Worcester. In the Indiana State Corrections had one, and then there was a women's prison in Texas.
Yeah.
That had one also. And so it would have been, you know, I don't know how many people ended up getting placed. Actually, I heard an interesting thing this evening that says that through somebody that Tim knows, Tim said that the jail graduates were working out well. So whatever that,
Great.
I don't know. I know there was some issue in getting some of them hired, you know, but we were getting people on the street, giving them another chance, and you know, some of them didn't want to hear it. You know, they were doing their time, whatever the deal was. But we had a number of students through the program that were serious about it and really appreciated the fact that we were giving them the chance. And I hope that if they've gotten out, that they're you know, doing the work and doing well.
Well, they certainly had a great teacher. That's for damn sure.
Thank you.
So, Bob, it's 7:30.
Yep.
And
I'm going to
we usually press a button right about now.
I am going to press a button,
which signifies
boom.
Hey, it's Joe from 1019 POR and John, Joe, and Courtney. We're back for another exciting season of Seacoast RV TV. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter W. As in Winnebago. Did you know that Seacoast RV is once again the award winner of the Flying W Award, which recognizes Winnebago dealer locations that deliver the highest service excellence and superior customer satisfaction? Don't mean to brag, but we're kind of a big deal. Speaking of Winnebagos, how about the Winnebago Access? Come on inside and take a look around. Modern and spacious interior, easier camp setup with all the deluxe features and an outstanding value? You get it all with the Winnebago Access. You know, with so many different models to choose from, though, it can get so scary and confusing. I feel like I need some help.
Hi, I'm Amanda. Welcome to Seacoast RV. How can I help you today?
Selection, service center, and a huge parts and accessory department. No wonder Seacoast RV is once again Winnebago's Flying W Award winner, their highest honor. Find the perfect RV or towable for you and your family with one stop, Seacoast RV. Easy to find, Route 1 in Saco.
Seacoast RV.
I'm Jackson.
I love that. Brought to you by the letter W. The number 4.
You know, I got to tell you 2 quick stories about W. And Chris, you'll know what I mean about service. But I was down in Florida at Lazy Days, looking around at those. Bob, what's that kind? The silver one there. That's bolus.
The bolus
units. And I happened to walk into with one of the salespeople, and there was a big Winnebago certificate in the back that our friend Dwayne Cyrus had signed. And then earlier this week, we have a friend that has a Winnebago product that had some questions, and I just called Dwayne, and he was able to call the factory and find out you know, I'm sure that everyone watching would agree that there's so many people in the industry that are willing to help others when they have a question on something. This was a warranty issue that couldn't be found easily without looking around a little bit. But you know, when I saw the W, I said, "Oh, got to mention Dwayne." So Dwayne, hope you're watching.
Yes, hope he's doing well.
Bob, did you happen to think of anybody else that knows Chris?
No, a few maybe.
Hey guys, thanks for this opportunity. Chris, congratulations, well deserved. My utmost respect for everything that you've done for the industry and that will continue to do for the industry. Wonderful guy. I'm here in Ronald Reagan Airport in Washington, just leaving RV's Move America Week. And when Bob called to give me this opportunity, I absolutely wanted to do it. Congratulations again.
See, I get him. Look at it. I get him in taxi.
Oh my God.
I get him in airports, and you know, I say, look, I need you to do me a favor for Chris Dougherty. Whatever you want, Bob. Whatever I can do for Chris.
Yep. By the way, this is costing us a lot of money, a lot of beers.
Yeah,
a lot of beers. But Chris, where do you see the, you know, you've made your mark as a mobile tech, and you know, with this certification, it certainly puts you above the crowd. I believe that just like park models are the least promoted aspect of the RV industry, what I say, the best kept secret in the RV industry. A good mobile tech is so valuable to have a relationship with, and because many times you've got an issue that it's a small issue, but you don't want to wait for 3 months because of the backlog at the dealership. So having a relationship with a mobile tech, wouldn't you say, is very, very important?
Yeah, absolutely. And knowing that they're out there, right? You know, because when you're traveling, you need to find that resource to get something fixed. And so that's one of the things that RVTI has certainly looked at over time. It's something we talked about a lot, you know, back a number of years ago, was trying to encourage more people to become independents. You know, there's a lot of great independent shops out there and mobile techs, and they take their work very seriously. They do a great job. And so trying to encourage those people, you know, those entrepreneurs to start their own business, and they can find some great success with it. And if they, you know, and in some parts of the country, that's a great niche to be in.
Do we know any guys locally that, you know, you think a lot about and do a great job as mobile techs, Chris?
Trick RV.
Hey Chris, Ryan here from Trick RV. Just wanted to say congratulations on the level 4 certification, and thank you for everything that you do in the RV industry with the teaching and the schooling and all your advice. It's really appreciated, and you're a big part of this industry, especially in this area. And I just want to say again, congratulations, and thank you for everything that you do, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you.
Sagami, you just your finger.
I told you, John.
You guys are embarrassing the hell out of me. You know that.
You remember when Groucho Marx, he got that magic word, and the duck would come out of the ceiling, and somebody said it just like this. So we're talking. This isn't planned. We have no script.
There it is. The magic word was duck when Chris was knee high to a duck.
Knee high to a duck. Right. See, Chris, talk about
Walter, see what Walter here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We got so hung up on Chris, we almost forgot. Where the hell out? What did he do? My God! From Christopher. Oh, he went out to do somebody mentioned AI, right?
Yeah.
Well-known figure. This is from ChatGPT. Swanson, you outdid yourself tonight. Industry particularly recognized for his work. Oh. As a technical expert and consultant, here are some key points about his involvement in the industry: technical expertise, writing, media, consulting, and training, public speaking. Through his various roles, Christopher Dougherty has made significant contributions to the RV industry, helping to improve the experience for RV owners and professionals. Well, Chris, Walter has just put you and I out of business. We can't do any more writing because everybody's going to go to ChatGPT.
That's it.
But Bob,
do the search.
Yeah.
Bob, let's be realistic here for a second. What Walter just found out is proof positive that there are two Chris Doughertys.
Yes. Yeah. So no one, of course, no one will get this, John. I'm the one with the big Y bag over my head, right?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Let's go back up here because we lost control of the audience. So Frank says, so he was there when I bought both of my Numas.
Yep.
Apparently so.
I remember you, Frank. Yeah.
Excellent communicator and trainer. He sure as hell is. Karen clarified one. Someone has to support Jack. Karen supports Jack Daniels too. Is she a Tennessee Squire?
I don't think so. No, she is. She's a Maker's Mark ambassador, as I am.
Well, then she should be. But see, if you're Tennessee Squire, we don't drink Maker's Mark, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to rethink that. I mean, I could nominate her, but I'm gonna have to.
Jeff, it's her. She prefers it actually. You know, I got her into the Maker's Mark thing, but she prefers the Jack Daniels. I think.
Keep talking, you'll dig yourself out of the hole pretty soon. David says, I heard you had to convince them you were just visiting every night.
The jail, yeah.
Huh?
The jail.
Oh, jail.
The Worcester County Jail.
One, David. Maria, I hope it is warm back in Massachusetts. Well, it's 98 degrees in Florida, and the heat index was 103 degrees today. So,
84.
What is it like in Massachusetts, Chris? John?
84.
84
was the high today. Here in Springfield.
There's Walter. Warm today and a touch humid, but cooler weather coming. Our friend Mike tomorrow from Springfield, the Spring RV Show. Congratulations to my friend Christopher Dougherty. Maria says, looking forward to it, Walter. David comes back with, well, you don't want to unhook everything at the campsite and drive to the service center and let us sit for a week. That's another good reason why we love our independent reps, technicians. That's right. Mike comes back with, thank you all for all you do for the seminars at the Springfield RV and Camping and Outdoor Show. He's talking to Chris again. Chris does seminars all over the country.
Chris, you never had to wear a tux, though, when you were doing that in Springfield, right?
No, I don't have to wear the tux. I wear my the same uniform shirt I wear all the time. So
yeah.
David says,
we always talk about the tuxes.
Yeah.
Chris, what does he mean?
Yeah, because I have the bag, because I have the big Y bag over my head.
Oh,
he doesn't even get that.
The unknown comic.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Kind of cut the holes out, you know.
So what I started to ask is, can you talk about the training path, the career path of technicians from when they first start at a dealership? What do they do from that first job to get to where you are today?
So what we have is the career ladder, right? So it starts off with the level 1 technician. And so, and that's like a PDI technician. That was when we were first looking at doing a program, it was to do a PDI tech, because in most shops, the first job you get is to do pre-delivery inspections. It allows the technician to have their hands in every kind of RV, and they learn, from there if they have the mechanical aptitude. What we're doing with the level 1 is teaching them about the RVs, right? And we're giving them basics in all the different areas in the trades, basically. So electrical, water, plumbing, propane, body, chassis, so on, and safety stuff. So we want to make sure that they're safe on the job. When you go up to level 2, you're going through the same topics, but now you're getting more into troubleshooting. You're getting into more detail in each of those core areas. And so a level 1 technician, once they've passed that, they're a level 1 for life. There's no recertification or anything. Level 2, once you pass that, you need to recertify your status every 5 years. And if you want to go on from there, then you start taking level 3 training. And those are all tested courses that are provided by vendors in the RV industry. And also there's a number of programs they're now doing at RVTI and Elkhart that can help you get through that process. So those are all tested courses, and there's a number of hours to each section. So it ranges from 15 to like 26 hours of training in each of the 6 areas. And then once you have done that and you've been in the industry working for at least 5 years, then you can get your level 4.
Yep.
Yep.
So, Chris, let me go back to one thing that you just said about the level 1 doing the PDIs.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that the PDI, in other words, showing the product, especially to a first-time RVer, that is a very, very valuable, not lesson, you know what I mean, aspect of buying your first RV.
Or service, yeah.
And so many times you hear of situations where the guy who did it, the man or woman who did it, just went through everything quick. Would you agree with me that when you are buying a new RV, whether it's your first or your 5th, to videotape that?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, that's a very valuable thing to do, because you're going through it. You know, if you've got a towable RV or something small, your walkthrough will be a half an hour in many cases, you know, as little as that. But you may be getting a big motor coach or a big 5th wheel and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on it. And so it's going to be a longer walkthrough, and it's hard to remember everything that you're being shown. So yeah, absolutely. It's a good idea to videotape that.
Yep. Especially since if again, you're picking it up, first thing, you don't want to learn all that stuff. You want to get it out on the road. You want to get it out to the campground. So your mindset might not be, I'm going to listen to everything. But if you videotape it, you can go back later and say, hey, wait a minute, he was talking about this here. You know, a lot of people don't know the difference between, you know, a propane generator and a diesel generator, because they look exactly alike. But, you know, there's those things that, you know, are important as well. And congratulations on your diesel, your owning, your generator certification, because I just ran into some issues with one, and I had people tell me a lot of different things. We finally got it fixed thanks to our friends at Majors RV.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, that was an interesting program, and we did a lot with it. It was good.
Yep.
It was good.
I just want to recap what Chris said for RVTI. So if you haven't seen these on the program, so you level up in your career with level 1 through 4. You grow your career in RV service, and you learn from the best people in the industry. And now you can learn from Chris Dougherty. You know, we started to talk, I did anyways, but John cut me off a couple of times. But talk about the importance inside the dealership. You started to talk about that. You know, there's people watching this who are not RV techs. We've advanced so much in the last 5 years in terms of what we have. It's not a job, it's a career path. Speak to that in relationship to the dealerships.
Absolutely. So one of the things, you know, we know now, we hear it across the country, is a difficulty in getting technicians to work in the dealership. And so there's a lot of things you can look at there and talk about. And, you know, this is what the certification program is going to do for you. First of all is, you know, look, I understand that a lot of guys who are technicians, you know, they're not necessarily book people, and I'm not either. I grew up with a learning disability. It made it very hard to take tests and do things like that. I'm more of a hands-on person myself, but I've kind of honed some of that as I've gone through, you know, over the years. And so what the certification program is going to do for you is, first of all, it gives everybody a baseline of knowledge to make sure that not only are they doing things correctly in the shop, but it's also helping with efficiency, right? If you've gone through a lot of this training, you have a lot of resources right at your fingertips. You've learned where to get the information and who to talk to when you need to help diagnose something. And you learn about diagnostics, right? So you learn how to find problems and how to use an organized path to go through and diagnose something, which is really important. So it improves efficiency in the shop. The other thing is that if we develop, and a lot of dealers are doing this now, which is nice, and technicians that I've talked to across the country as I've gone through this training program, there's a lot of dealers who now have a pay scale. And so if you want to keep technicians, if you train them and you help them get certification, and then they increase the pay to go along with those certifications, and then they become more efficient in their jobs, it just brings the whole thing up in the shop, and it adds a level of professionalism to the service side of the industry, and that's invaluable.
And the benefit of that is, A, you have a career, but B, you analyze, you diagnose the problems quicker, you're more prepared to do it. The customer gets their coach back. We have happy customers, and that's a nice circle to run around in. And you and Randy, Mike Sokol, and Ryan, members of our technical advisory group for NERVDA and the Boston show. And the only guy we left out of the equation tonight was one of those, so we probably ought to squeeze him in.
Hey there, NERVDA. Randy with Pete's RV here. I just wanted to take a second and recognize Chris Dougherty. Chris is really the man, the myth, the legend, right? To achieve a level 4 master certification is really unheard of in our world, and just absolutely incredible. So congratulations, Chris. And I think one of the biggest things when I first started in this industry that I realized very quickly was we don't do a great job of educating, and we need a lot more guys out there like Chris doing what he does, whether it be on the seminar stage or through his website, and all the great things that Chris brings to our industry. He's really made a change, and I'm glad to call him one of my friends. So again, congratulations, Chris. Well done, sir.
Chris, you did such a good job of writing those scripts.
I worked on it. It took me a couple of days to get them done, but
you know what? We're absolutely amazed. We're absolutely amazed. But you know what? Everybody who's talking from the heart, because as I said earlier, Chris is just a good guy. And Chris, I had a question before Zagami interrupted me. I forget what it was, but it was a good one, and we got a couple minutes left. I'll think of it, and then I'll interrupt him.
I'll let Bernie talk.
Mr. Dougherty, allow me to extend my most sincere congratulations. You gone and got yourself an RVTI Master Certification Level 4 Technician. That is extremely important recognition in your career. And I would like to think that you get at least an extra 50 cents an hour. But again, my most sincere congratulations. May God bless you.
He's a man of many talents, and I'm sure
he is. Uncle Bernie.
I'm sure if Uncle Bernie hasn't called you yet, I'm sure it'll be the first call in the morning. He's going to say, "Hey, if you went on Zagami and DePietro, you got to come on the RV Game Changer." So,
right.
But I'll have to say the second fiddle to that. We're getting down towards the end, Chris. What else about your career should people know, or what do you want them to know about where you're going to be going next, what you're going to be doing, and what this means to you?
Well, first of all, it helps to have a dream, right? And you have goals and objectives in your life and in your career. And if you find something that works for you and find something that's meaningful to you, by all means, chase it. And so I say that to all the technicians that are out there. I've spent most of my life, not just my professional life, around RVs, and there's certainly a lot that I see to it that I appreciate and enjoy, and I'm hoping that I'm making a difference for not only consumers but for the techs, and you can do that too. And so it's just something that you have to want to do. And if you want to be an independent, by all means, go out there and be an independent. You want to work for a dealership? I mean, look at Randy. Randy runs, service for all of Pete's RV up and down the East Coast. There's a lot of opportunities out there. It's a great industry. A lot of people that you're going to get to know, and it's a relationship business, for sure.
Oh,
and yeah, and so that's great. As far as what I'm going to do, I'm doing it. I do the training for PRVCA, and so I'm down in Pennsylvania quite a bit for that, at different times throughout the year. FMCA, I'm doing stuff for them. I have the RV PhD, which kind of ties in with my seminars. As Dave Solberg mentioned, I'm going to be going to do seminars with him and his group around the country, which is going to be fun. So I have a number of new shows that I'll be adding to it. I used to do shows for Good Sam across the country, I think, the way Dave did. And so now we're going to be doing that. And, it's just wherever I can get out there and, help, push this along and make a difference for people and make it more enjoyable. It's a great lifestyle for sure. It's a lot of fun to get out there on the road and do this stuff. And so if we can help to make it better, that's what we want to do.
I remembered my point, Bob.
That's why I had to play two. See, I was only going to play one, and I said, well, he should remember it after one.
I remembered my point,
and I said, well, let me play the second one, and he might remember. Because
it's a very important point.
Said that, he might forget it.
It's a very important point. And the fact is, Chris is still an active RVer. So he's not just one that talks the talk. I mean, he walks the walk. And when he goes to Pennsylvania for that week, he's in his RV. So, there's so many people in the industry. This is what happens when you do a show from your back deck.
You got a dog? Oh, you're in the back deck.
Yeah, the back deck.
No, you're your RV.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. That's true. My AI RV. But it's important that he's actually living. Talk about living the dream. I mean, he's living what he's talking about, and I think that's very, very vital.
Yeah, and the nice thing about Chris, he's the same man today that he was when Gary Bunzer first introduced him to me, probably over 20 years ago now. And he's not going to change because he's a level 4. He's going to get up tomorrow morning and do exactly the same thing that he's always been doing. It's not going to have to change his hat size at all. But you are at a very lofty place in the industry, Chris. And we want to sincerely thank you for what you've done and what you've achieved in the industry.
Thank you.
So knowing that, take a look. We got a couple of minutes left. Take a look at the industry from the consumer standpoint. If you're a consumer and you're talking to the executives in the industry, what are the three most, yeah, you're already laughing. What are the three most important things that the industry has to do to keep the consumers that we have now and get a whole lot more in the future?
Well, there's service has been an issue, right? So we've been looking at that as an industry. Repair event cycle time has been a concern. Quality control is I think a big piece of it these days. You go out online and you see a lot of people with a lot of major problems with RVs. That's a tough one. And one of the things, and I know Bob, you and I have talked about this, is I look at the RV, as a professional, I look at the RV industry that our competition are the hotels and resorts and the cruise companies, right? And so I do maritime history stuff, whatever else. I'm kind of familiar with that world a little bit. And, during the pandemic, they scrapped a bunch of relatively new ships and started building these great, builds because they want to get those people's vacation dollars. And so we're in the vacation business, you know, even though we're dealing with this hardware and whatnot. I think the recreational marine industry is in the same place, right? Is that people are spending their money to enjoy RVing, enjoy boating, whatever else. And if they have too many problems, they're going to vote to spend their recreational dollars somewhere else. And we need to keep that in focus. As things change, you know, we've seen, you know, the move towards, you know, yurts and the different experiences with glamping. You know, there's always been that. Of course, glamping also ties into RVing. But, you know, as was mentioned at the breakfast in Elkhart, you know, Toby said that, you know, they're going into the hotel business. KOA is, right? First campground with a hotel, because people want to simplify and they don't want to have the complexity of an RV. And so that's something I think we need to just kind of keep in focus. I think a lot of people are trying to do really well with customer service. I think that's always got to be a goal, and teaching people how to do this hobby the right way, do it safely, and be able to stay on the road, I think is a big piece of that, which is something that we all try to do. And if we can do those things, and obviously the campgrounds are growing, there's a lot more places people can go and enjoy the RV lifestyle. You know, at the end of the day, that's what counts.
Yeah, let's check the comments here. Dante says, and Dante did take level 1 in Elkhart
with me
when he bought his new motor. With you? Were you in that
Yes.
class? Oh.
I taught the class.
Jeff Johnson says he videotaped the walkthrough for some new RV owning friends to save myself the inevitable Friday night campground phone call.
Go this way.
We've all got them. We've all been there. Willie Miller, love you all. Willie Miller, Chris, aka the money was off. That must be a private one between you.
Working like my daddy.
What is that? Is that George?
No, that's not. This is my neighbor, and he loves coming in. You like when we go in the RV, right? When we go around the block.
I love going my daddy's work.
Forget your daddy. You like the RV, right?
Let me finish up the last few. So Willie says, so is Bob and John. So is Bob and John, a.k.a. Mr. Popcorn. I don't know. Somebody's going to have to explain that one to me.
Okay.
All right.
You were all over the country. You were on the internet.
On a great industry veteran.
We'll send you your check later.
Cherish. We can christen him Mr. RV. I wouldn't disagree with that. Dave says this is why Chris is able to communicate with RV owners at the seminars and articles. He is an RVer, not AI phony. And Tim, produce quality products. And Tim doesn't sell anything unless it's a quality product. So you can check his setup out there. Maria, we are in a gorgeous KOA with awesome amenities in West Glacier right now. Would serve people with or without an RV.
Yeah, so yeah, I see what. So they have the cabins and yurts and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Tim says Intech RV and Oliver travel trailers and Soaring Eagle campers. If other manufacturers stepped up with the integrity of these companies, those are 3 good companies. And in fact, I just did my interview with Scott Tuttle, a partner at Soaring Eagle Truck Campers, and that product is going to take off. It is amazing. So you can watch that on the Camp Report show this week. And Dave says 50% of all the calls CoachNet techs receive are owners that do not know how things work. They spend 30 minutes or more just talking about how the system should work. Yeah.
And you know, one of the things that ties into that is I'm fair all the way around, right? So if I know something that a dealer or the industry hasn't done right or hasn't communicated right, I'll say it. But when I go to do my seminars, a lot of times I'll ask, how many people in the room have read their owner's packet?
Oh,
John. Okay. John has told me he thinks it's a waste of trees.
John's
you don't read your.
I can't read those things. They're written by techies.
John's is still in the oven because he hasn't used the oven. And he's had. How long have you had the coach now, John? 13 years.
We've used. Do we have an oven?
Yeah.
No,
well,
we don't have. We have a microwave.
Well, and you might
microwave convection.
You might as well take the awning off the coach because you didn't use the awning either.
Right,
so.
right. Good thing because some of these awning companies,
right.
Some of the new ones are going out when people are driving down the highway. So,
we probably ever, but we have extended our time. Chris, thank you very much for joining us.
Chris.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Guys, thank you. Thank you to everybody who was on the show tonight. You know, this has been fantastic. But yeah, absolutely. You know what? We keep with it. And
there's another great television program. This is your life, Chris Dougherty. John, any closing comments for our friend?
No, Chris, we were going to have Trump and Biden on with us too, but Trump is at a rally and Biden's on Sean Hannity tonight.
They were
there you go.
They were the only two that didn't respond.
There were only two.
Today.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Great.
Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you so much. We appreciate your watching.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.